In the quiet shadows of our lives, where the echoes of lost connections linger, we often find ourselves faced with a harsh and puzzling truth: people seem to want us most when we have turned away, when our desire for them has faded. This paradox, though painful, offers a profound opportunity for growth, a chance to reflect on our nature and our attachments. The power of indifference. Indifference, in the Stoic sense, is not a cold or emotionless state. Instead, it's a conscious choice to focus only on what is within our control. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, teaches that the key to true freedom lies in understanding this distinction: what is up to us and what is not. When we practice indifference, we deliberately choose not to be swayed by external circumstances or the behaviors of others. Imagine a scenario where someone you once desired suddenly becomes interested in you, only after you've stopped pursuing them. In this moment, your indifference is a reflection of your inner strength. It shows that you have shifted your focus away from their validation and have found contentment within yourself. This is a power that cannot be easily shaken, because it is rooted in the understanding that your worth is not contingent upon anyone else's recognition. In practical terms, indifference allows us to remain unmoved by the fickle nature of others' desires. When we no longer place our happiness in their hands, we reclaim control over our emotions. This doesn't mean we cease to care or feel. It means that we no longer allow external events to dictate our inner peace. As Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is the essence of the power of indifference, a shield against the unpredictable nature of human relationships. The illusion of value. The illusion of value is a reflection of how people often perceive worth through the lens of scarcity. This concept is deeply rooted in human psychology. When something or someone is readily available, their value may seem diminished. However, the moment that availability is withdrawn, their value appears to increase. But this perceived increase in value is merely an illusion, a mirage conjured by the mind's desire for what it cannot easily attain. From a Stoic perspective, the true measure of value is not found in how others perceive us, but in how we perceive ourselves. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, reminds us that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When we see our value as something inherent and unchanging, we free ourselves from the need for external validation. This shifts our focus from seeking approval to cultivating inner virtues like wisdom, courage, and integrity. The illusion of value also reveals a fundamental truth about human relationships. They are often more about fulfilling one's own desires than about genuine appreciation. When someone only values you after you've withdrawn, it's not your true self they desire, but the idea of you as something unattainable. By recognizing this, we can protect ourselves from being manipulated by others' shifting perceptions and remain anchored in our own self-worth. The trap of attachment. Attachment, in the Stoic sense, is a form of self-imposed slavery. When we become attached to someone or something, we tether our happiness and well-being to their presence in our lives. This attachment creates a dependency that leaves us vulnerable to pain and disappointment. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, warned against this when he said, "He who is enslaved to desire is the most miserable of men." When we desire someone's attention or love, we often find ourselves trapped in a cycle of longing and fear, longing for their presence and fear of their absence. This trap of attachment can consume our thoughts and emotions, making us blind to our own inner strength and potential for happiness independent of others. But when we break free from this attachment, we regain our power. We realize that our happiness does not depend on anyone else's actions or affections, but solely on our own state of mind. To overcome the trap of attachment, the Stoics teach us to practice amor fati, the love of fate. This means accepting life as it comes, embracing both the joys and the sorrows without clinging to either. By doing so, we learn to find contentment in the present moment, free from the anxiety that attachment brings. Seneca beautifully encapsulated this when he said, True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. In letting go of our attachments, we discover a profound sense of freedom and peace, grounded in the understanding that we are complete within ourselves. The test of true intentions. The test of true intentions comes into play when we step back from the pursuit of someone else's affection or approval. It's in this space of non-pursuit that the true nature of the relationship often reveals itself. When we no longer seek someone, when we detach ourselves from the need for their validation, we begin to see whether their interest in us is genuine or merely a response to the thrill of the chase. Stoicism teaches us to value relationships based on shared virtues and mutual respect, not on superficial attractions or the fleeting excitement of conquest. As Marcus Aurelius pointed out, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. This perspective reminds us that what we perceive as someone's affection or desire may, in reality, be a reflection of their own need for validation rather than a true connection with who we are. When someone suddenly desires us after we have withdrawn, we should pause and question the authenticity of their intentions. Are they interested in us for who we truly are, or simply because we are now unattainable? This distinction is crucial. A relationship built on the pursuit of something that seems out of reach is fragile, likely to crumble once the thrill of the chase is gone. On the other hand, a relationship founded on mutual respect, understanding, and shared values is far more resilient. The test of true intention serves as a filter, allowing us to identify and cultivate connections that are genuine. It's a Stoic exercise in discernment, helping us to protect our peace of mind by avoiding entanglements that would only lead to disappointment or heartache. By valuing what is real and substantial in our relationships, we align ourselves with the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature, which includes recognizing and nurturing true and honest connections. The strength of self-mastery. Self-mastery is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It is the ability to govern oneself, to remain in control of one's emotions, desires, and actions, regardless of external circumstances. Epictetus, one of the most revered Stoic philosophers, emphasized that true freedom comes from mastering oneself. No man is free who is not master of himself. This is not merely about controlling impulses, but about understanding and aligning our desires with what is within our power. When we stop seeking validation from others, when we no longer allow their opinions or actions to dictate our sense of self-worth, we achieve a form of self-mastery. This strength comes from recognizing that external factors, other people's thoughts, actions, or feelings are beyond our control. What is within our control is our response to these factors, our ability to choose how we react. Self-mastery involves cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. It's about being the ruler of your own mind, guiding your thoughts and actions in alignment with these virtues. This form of inner strength ensures that we remain steady and composed, even in the face of adversity or rejection. When someone tries to manipulate or control us by withdrawing their affection or attention, our self-mastery protects us from being swayed or hurt. Moreover, self-mastery allows us to engage in relationships from a place of strength and independence rather than neediness or insecurity. We are no longer at the mercy of others' whims, and our happiness is not contingent upon their behavior. This makes us not only stronger but also more attractive in a deeper, more substantial way. People are drawn to those who are self-assured, who do not need to chase or cling to others for their sense of worth. This is the quiet power of self-mastery, a strength that radiates from within and commands respect. The wisdom of solitude. Solitude, in Stoicism, is not about loneliness, but about finding strength and clarity within oneself. It's a time to reflect, to engage in deep self-examination, and to cultivate an inner life that is rich and fulfilling on its own. Seneca, who often wrote about the importance of solitude, advised us to retire into yourself as much as you can. Associate with those who are likely to improve you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. The wisdom of solitude lies in its ability to strip away the distractions of the world, allowing us to see ourselves and our relationships with greater clarity. When we are alone, we are not swayed by the noise of others' expectations or opinions. Instead, we can listen to our own thoughts, align with our values, and make decisions that are true to our nature. Solitude also provides a sanctuary where we can recharge and reconnect with our inner selves. In a world that constantly demands our attention, solitude offers a rare opportunity for introspection and self-discovery. It's in these quiet moments that we can assess our relationships and determine whether they are built on solid foundations or mere illusions. Furthermore, solitude teaches us self-reliance. When we are comfortable in our own company, we no longer feel the need to seek out others for validation or companionship. This doesn't mean we reject social connections, but rather that we approach them from a place of strength rather than need. We choose to engage with others because we genuinely value their company, not because we fear being alone. This wisdom of solitude is crucial when dealing with relationships that seem to flourish only when we pull away. It helps us recognize that our worth does not depend on being desired by others. Instead, our true worth is found in our ability to be content and fulfilled within ourselves. By embracing solitude, we cultivate a deep inner peace that remains unshaken by the presence or absence of others. The cycle of desire. Desire, in the Stoic view, is often seen as a cycle that perpetuates itself, trapping us in a continuous loop of longing and dissatisfaction. The more we desire something or someone, the more we are consumed by that desire. Yet, once that desire is fulfilled, it often leads to a new craving, a new object of desire, creating an endless cycle that keeps us from finding true contentment. The Stoics understood that this cycle of desire is rooted in a fundamental misunderstanding of where happiness and fulfillment come from. We tend to believe that external things, whether they be material possessions, relationships, or status, can bring us lasting happiness. However, as Epictetus teaches, it is not the things themselves that disturb men, but their judgments about these things. Our desires are often projections of our own internal states, and chasing after them only deepens our sense of incompleteness. When you find yourself desiring someone's affection or approval, you might notice that the more you pursue it, the more elusive it becomes. This is the nature of the cycle of desire. It's like trying to grasp water with your bare hands. The tighter you hold on, the more it slips through your fingers. But when you step out of this cycle, when you cease to chase after what you desire, something remarkable happens. The desire diminishes, and you begin to find peace within yourself. The Stoic approach to breaking the cycle of desire involves shifting our focus inward, recognizing that true happiness is not found in the fulfillment of external desires, but in cultivating a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us that very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. By redirecting our energy from external pursuits to internal growth, we break free from the cycle of desire and discover a deeper, more lasting form of contentment. The liberation of letting go. Letting go is one of the most powerful acts of liberation in Stoicism. It's about releasing our attachment to outcomes, to people, and to the things that we cannot control. This act of letting go is not about giving up or becoming apathetic. Rather, it's about embracing the reality of our situation and finding peace in the present moment. When we hold on tightly to someone or something, we create a dependency that binds us emotionally. This attachment often leads to fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of being alone. The Stoics teach that such attachments are the source of much of our suffering. Epictetus famously said, "He who is free from desire is free from sorrow." Letting go, therefore, is not just about releasing the object of our desire, but also about freeing ourselves from the sorrow that comes from clinging to it. The act of letting go requires us to confront the reality that we cannot control everything in life. People may come and go, situations may change, and outcomes may not align with our expectations. By accepting this, we liberate ourselves from the anxiety and disappointment that often accompany unmet desires. We learn to find peace in the present, to appreciate what we have without clinging to it, and to remain open to whatever life may bring. Letting go also empowers us to focus on what truly matters: our own growth, our own virtues, and our own inner peace. It allows us to engage with life and relationships from a place of strength and independence, rather than neediness or fear. As Seneca put it, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. By letting go of our cravings, we discover a wealth of peace and contentment within ourselves. The final proof: your own transformation. The final proof of the principles discussed is seen in your own transformation. When you begin to apply the Stoic teachings, when you detach from external desires, let go of unhealthy attachments, and focus on self-mastery, you undergo a profound change. This transformation is the ultimate evidence that you are no longer controlled by the whims of others or the fluctuations of fate. As you detach from the need for others' validation and embrace your own inner strength, you start to see yourself and the world differently. You become less reactive to external events and more in control of your emotions. This newfound strength and stability are the fruits of Stoic practice, reflecting the deep internal shift from dependency to self-reliance. This transformation also changes how others perceive you. When you no longer seek their approval or chase after their affection, you become someone who is self-assured, confident, and grounded. This shift often makes you more attractive in a deeper, more meaningful way, as people are drawn to those who exude inner strength and independence. However, the key is that your transformation is not dependent on their reactions, but is rooted in your own journey towards self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the essence of your transformation, recognizing that true power lies within, and that by mastering your own mind, you can navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. In the end, the final proof is not just in how others respond to you, but in how you feel about yourself. You will know that you have truly transformed when you find peace in your own company, strength in your own virtues, and contentment in the present moment, regardless of external circumstances. This is the true goal of Stoic practice: a life of inner peace, strength, and wisdom, achieved through the mastery of the self.